Good morning. It's the AM show. You're on 3 Magic Talking Online. Of course, it is 27 minutes past 6. Good to have you along this morning. It's time to talk business now, thanks to Milford Asset Management. And the latest survey from Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand shows gender pay gaps still very much exist. It's actually outrageous how big this is. Joining us now is Milford Asset Management Portfolio Manager Frances Sweetman. And you're very nervous about this, about my questions coming your way, aren't you?
I am a bit nervous. I'm not sure what angle you're going to go for here.
I don't know myself, so I'll make this as bad as it possibly can be. Male accountants are paid 40 to 50% more than their female counterparts, according to the Chartered Accountants Australia and New Zealand. Do you believe it, for a start?
Well, it is very high. Professional services and banking and finance and accounting is generally worse than average. But in New Zealand, our average is only 9.5%. So the difference between the average pay gap and this across accountants is enormous.
It's huge. We are 9.5%.
Yeah.
Have we moved at all?
It's been broadly flat for about 4 years.
Yes.
It was higher before that. So there has been some progress. And
Is it progress, though, to be flat for 4 years?
No, it was progress before that. To be flat for 4 years, no. But we are better than other countries. So, for example, there's about an 18% pay gap on average between men and women. In Australia, it's about 13.5%.
Right,
so we are doing okay.
Them, but under this government, it's been flat. It hasn't actually got better.
Yeah, that's right.
And this was one of the emissions, wasn't it?
It's been flat. And it's not very well reported, which is one of the issues. And in this exact survey done by the accountancy, it's that I think 7 out of 10 men don't think there is a pay gap.
Their head's in the sand.
So whereas it's, the opposite way for women, obviously. So that's part of the problem.
I see Westpac New Zealand have reported a gender pay gap of 26%, which is big, which is 2.5 times the average New Zealand rate.
Yeah, that's right, and that's more realistic, I think. And their view is that a lot of that is for historic reasons, because they've got a lot more men in senior positions, because that's the way that it used to be, and they've set targets to try and address that. Yeah,
at least they reported it, because who else has been reporting the gender pay gap? Did many jump on board this?
There's not that many in New Zealand. In the UK, it's mandatory. And of course, once you've reported something, that's when you can start to make changes.
Should this be mandatory? Should we make this mandatory? Oh, here we go. This is why you're nervous about the interview. This is why you're nervous about me. I can go rogue.
Well, there are some. If you're a small business, then it's very difficult to, first of all, measure it accurately when you've only doing it across a small number of people. Or it's
simply too embarrassing to report.
Or too embarrassing to report, or costly to measure and report.
Yes.
So there are some reasons where it's difficult. But I think, personally, that there's no reason why we shouldn't be measuring it across all organisations. So we can start to look at how we address it through flexible working.
Data is everything, truth is king.
Is this as simple as, though, because I think there's a simplicity placed on this, this is not you have exactly the same job and you have a man and a woman and the man's getting paid more. This is about averages, isn't it? And the fact is, in an accounting firm, because there was more males involved in the olden days, let's say, maybe more of them are partners nowadays. So it should correct over time through attrition in itself, shouldn't it?
Well, it's very difficult to prove any evidence of a like-for-like pay gap, which is what you say. 2 people in the same role getting paid.
But that's how everyone seems to think this works. It doesn't work. That's not the case.
It's not, but does that mean that it's okay? So just because historically a lot of men have got to senior positions and there is a much lesser pay gap in younger age cohorts, which proves that, does it mean that the conditions are there in place to allow women now to progress into those positions? Because it is very difficult when you're two-parent working family, parent family,
yes,
to try and both people try and progress unless we do flexible working. We're
going to head to the news now. I'll let you go in one piece.
Thanks.
Nice to see you. You got through it. Milford Asset Management Portfolio Manager Frances Sweetman, appreciate your time as always. And we're talking business every Tuesday and Thursday at this time, thanks to our partners, our friends Milford Asset Management. Just gone to 6:30. Here's the news now with the highly paid Amanda. Good morning.